Welcome back to another episode of Ask Freeman, where you ask the questions and we answer them in short form. If you have questions, you can submit those to be answered on the podcast at retirementorship.com/questions. I had two questions from the same person. Sherry asked two questions. I'm going to do it in two separate things, but they're related. And the first one was, should I buy the extended warranty on a vehicle? And so if you've ever bought a vehicle from a dealer in particular, either brand new or even used ones, they'll often ask you, right, do you want the extended warranty? And a lot of times it's more than ask, right? It's kind of a big sales push to get you to do the extended warranty. So Sharon wants to know, should she get this? And so, one of the things, there's a couple observations first. A lot of times you might find that even if you're working with, there's some dealers out there now that don't negotiate anymore on prices. They're not trying to haggle. They're not trying to get the best price. They're just saying, hey, this is our price. We find the actual value of the car. We sell it for that amount. We don't haggle. It's our best price first kind of thing. And so that attracts a lot of clients. But then you'll find in the buying process that they, and they'll say none of our sales staff are commissioned. They're all salaried. No one earns a commission off sales. So they're not going to pressure you into buying this car, that, or the other thing, because it doesn't matter to them. They're not commissioned. But then when it comes to the buying process, they'll really aggressively push for you to get these extended warranties on whatever vehicle you're getting, even if it's brand new or if it's used. They'll do it. If it's brand new, the original manufacturer will have an extended warranty a lot of times, or if it's a used car, the dealer themselves have some kind of extended warranty that they can put on it, and they'll push pretty hard on that. And a lot of times, not with all cases, but in some cases, while it's true that the agent isn't commissioned off the sale of the vehicle, they are incentivized to push these extended warranties. And again, this is not necessarily universally true, but in general, companies make a lot of money off of extended warranties, off of product insurance, all those things. Right? That's why they push a lot of things. I used to work at Target way back in the day, and they would make all their money off of, in electronics on TV and stuff. They made no money on TVs at all. TV is such a competitive item that a lot of times they'd even lose some money on TVs, but they would make a ton of money on the protection plans that they would sell for the electronics, right? Because most of these are never claimed, they're never used, all these things. And so companies make a ton of money off of protection plans, extended warranties, all these things. So when it comes to new cars, right, the base warranty that they have is super ridiculous. There's almost no way that the car is going to crash inside of or die, that anything mechanical or bad is going to happen inside of the base warranty. And then they'll offer these extended warranties out to a certain point. But even those, if you really look at, hey, what's the longevity of this car? What is likely to happen with these things? There's powertrain warranties, their engine warranties, these types of things. Anytime they're offering some extended warranty, they will extend it always well, and it'll be well within the period of when a car is likely to go down. So let's say you buy a car here and the car goes for a while, and in general, it's going to start having problems somewhere out here at, X thousand miles, 100,000 miles or something like that. They're going to start having problems 130 or whatever it is. Those extended warranties are going to stop here. There's some gray area in here, but they're going to stop when this completely white and when they're most likely not ever going to have to pay out for that. And so they sell them, and they get thousands of dollars up front. And of course, it's kind of like insurance for them. If they sell enough of these, for the one or two outliers they're going to have of a vehicle that's actually going to go down inside the warranty period, and they're going to shell out to pay for that. They've made so much money off of selling these to so many people that they're just fine. And so it's really it's almost kind of an extra insurance policy for your vehicle. And most of these go unclaimed, and most of them do not benefit the end user. Same with even used car, extra dealer extended warranties. Hey, we'll do it for an extra 3,000 miles or 10,000 miles or something. Again, most of the time they've checked these things out. The car is still new enough that most of the time those warranties are just never going to pay out. They're just never going to pay out. And so you are. So it's a little bit of who wants to take the risk, right? Do you feel better and all those things? Maybe you know nothing about cars and you don't have a good mechanic and you don't have these other things, and you just feel like, man, if anything ever happens to this car, I'm going to get screwed because I don't know enough about this stuff. Maybe in your case, then it would make sense to take an extended warranty because, either you're going to get screwed by the extended warranty company or you're going to get screwed by a mechanic or whatever else. Maybe in those cases it is, but in general, I don't think most people should do the extended warranties. I wouldn't, whatever, do an extended warranty. I'd rather just keep the money, because I also like to keep as much money in my pocket as possible. And you can self-insure for a lot of these things. These things are not going to wreck you, right? We want to insure against things that would be absolutely catastrophic to our finances, right? someone dying prematurely when you got small kids would be catastrophic to the family's budget, right? Becoming permanently disabled would be catastrophically, financially catastrophic to your financial plan. So like those are the kind of things that you insure for, right? You're running up a $100,000 health bill from some medical emergency would be catastrophic. That's why we have health insurance. Your transmission having a problem or your engine having a problem or one of these other things, right? You might need to shell out $3,000, $5,000, whatever to get that fixed. That's not going to ruin you. It's going to be uncomfortable, right? But it's not going to ruin you. And if you're going to pay an extra, $2,000 or $2,500 or $3,000 or $5,000, like what, you just do that math, right? Like what is this actually going to cost? If they're going to sell this extended warranty for $2,500, but the likelihood that you're going to actually even have a problem and that problem is going to take, $5,000 to replace, it means they're saying, hey, I'm gonna pay $2,500 so that I don't have to risk paying $5,000. But the chances of me having to do that are not 50-50, right? The chances of me actually having to do that are what, 10%, 5%? Who really knows what it is, right? But it's just not good math there. So I guess I would never do it. Maybe that helps you kind of decide in terms. So I think it depends on what the costs are. Certainly, what costs, do you have good places to go if you have problems with cars? And then what maybe your level of comfort or knowledge about cars are, or someone in your household that has that, I would skew towards not doing them. And then she had a follow-up question, right? Should I get the service package that the dealer offers? And so there's another, they have some lump sum, like, hey, we'll also do, buy this service package now, and then we'll cover all the service and any other problems that come up. Just bring it into the dealer and we'll take care of it. And, the way that those things work, it's basically just pre-selling services to you. And the dealer does it for two reasons. One, it's kind of like the extended warranty. There's a chance that you won't actually need it inside the window, right? Like they'll say like, hey, for $2,000, we'll do all this service. And, if you end up having to do all this service alone, like it might cost you $5,000 or something if you go somewhere else. Like these people charge $200 an hour these days. And so all these things are going to be all these issues, but we'll take care of any of these service things that need to be done over the next 2 years or something. So one, like a lot of those things, there's a pretty good chance they'll never actually have to do. They'll do some oil changes, do some of those things, and all those things will cost the dealer. They normally would have charged someone $400 for those things over the course of that amount of time, but they're going to be able to charge $2,000 for the service plan. And then if they actually, some of these bigger things happen, then what they're basically doing is they're basically guaranteeing that they will get that business. Right, you already paid the dealer $2,000 up front, $5,000 up front, whatever it is, to do all these service things. And so basically what they're saying is they're guaranteeing that you're going to go to them. You're not going to go to your local mechanic to get it done. You're going to go back to the dealer because you already paid for it. So best case scenario for them, they get a big pile of money that they don't actually have to spend out. They don't actually have to do all the service because the car does well and doesn't have any problems. Worst case scenario, they just kind of guarantee the business. And every once in a while, they might bite the bullet a little bit on it. But obviously, they wouldn't offer these things. And they wouldn't push the service plans and all these things so aggressively if the dealer wasn't making a ton of money off of those. So again, I'm not like super mad. I'm not mad about service packages. I'm not mad about extended warranties. I'm not mad about companies offering a service and, making money off it, making a profit. I'm not mad about any of those things. I don't like how aggressive sometimes they get in pushing these things. But again, in general, I think if you have a really good mechanic, I have a great mechanic, really close to my house, really good rates, very honest, has had opportunities I know of where he could have said, oh, you need to do this repair. You bring in a car and you have to fix one thing and they tell you about 10 other things that are wrong with it. Like there's been times when he could have maybe done some of those things and just definitely didn't. And only really did the work that is and has great rates and just had great performance. So like, I love the mechanic that we have. I don't do anything with cars. So that's great. And so like for me, one time when we were trying to get a push to service package, they were quoting, these people, work for $200 an hour. And so it's going to be really, really expensive for you to do all these things. I was like, no, it's not. I mean, maybe with you, it would be if I had to pay out of pocket, but my guy's way more reasonable than that, way better than that. So I don't need that. So again, if you don't have that, you don't have a great mechanic that then a service package might be good. But if you already have that stuff, again, more often than not, most people won't get their money's worth out of a dealer service package. A lot of these things are that's where they make a lot of their money. They don't make a lot of money. Dealers don't make most of their money off selling the cars themselves. They make it off the financing, the warranties, the service packages, all these other things. Yeah, I'm not mad about companies making money. Companies need to make money, but just so you know, they're not necessarily always in your best interest. So hopefully that helps Sherry with you, anyone else who's buying cars. I also did, we did a series of cars. I think she listened to episodes 61 through 64. We're on buying new and used cars and buying and leasing a car or financing a car, paying cash. And we answered kind of a bunch of those questions there. So if you go to retirementship.com/61, that's the first one of those things. So if you haven't listened to those, you can go back and listen to those episodes. Otherwise, hopefully it's helpful to you guys as you think through those things, and we'll see you next week. Cheers. If you enjoyed that, you would love being part of our free membership community. It's called Retire Membership, and it has a host of benefits, all for free. For example, you can always buy my book, 3D Retirement Income, on Amazon. But if you join us at Retire Membership, we will send you either a hard copy or paperback for free, provide the ebook and the audiobook so that you can listen to it if you don't have time to read it. In addition to that, we'll also provide you with a bunch of content that you can't get anywhere else. For example, we have our quarterly Retire Mentorship magazine, which comes out quarterly and has no ads whatsoever. It's just timely content to help you stay the course. We also have workbooks for our free online workshop to help you get the most out of those, flowcharts to help you make better decisions, and a weekly email to provide timely content that you can unsubscribe from at any time. We never ask for any payment information, and we never share your information with anyone else. We just want to provide timely content and help you stay the course to retire successfully and stay successfully retired. There's no reason to wait, so join us now at retiremembership.com, or you can click in the link in the description and it'll go right there. We can't wait to see you in the community. Cheers. This podcast is educational only and is not investment, tax, or legal advice.